welcome back to my channel. Today it's time for Q&A. That is very long overdue. I don't think I've done one in like 3 months. And you guys asked 35 questions. That's a lot of questions, but a lot of the questions are ones that I've featured in previous Q&A videos. So I'll answer those briefly in this one. If you want a fuller answer, I suggest that you go to my Q&A playlist here on YouTube, because if there's a question that I've already answered before, you will have a full answer in one of those videos. Anna Laura Mendes says, what are some of your inspirations, and has anyone told you how awesome you are? Thanks, Anna. Right now, there's one person that I would like to raise, and that is a Swedish feminist and journalist. Her name is Cissi Wallin. And she has been at the front of the Me Too movement, that I'm sure you guys know what it is. If you don't, you should be ashamed of yourself. And she has been drawn into a shitfest because of it. And I am so fucking proud of how she's holding her head high and dealing with all these assholes and all the shit that she gets on a daily basis. So I'm really proud of her, and yeah, I wish I could keep my temper more the way she does, because I lose it like this. Ashley Kurtzinger says, if you could be any fictional character for a day, who would you be and why? Obviously, I'd want to try to actually be Tank Girl on one of those days when she's not being hunted by crazy people who want to kill her, which is pretty much every day. So one of her like lazy days, that would be fantastic. Jenny Hasselblad Risdal, I'm assuming you're Swedish, that's why I'm pronouncing your name like that, says, have you ever had that basic long blonde brown hair? And if, how long ago was this? Yeah, when I was a kid. Like 14 or maybe something like that. I had long hair. I had the longest it's ever been was like down to here, I think. But I had like standard length, which is like shoulder length, for a while before I realized that I fucking hate having long hair and then cut it off. I don't have any photos to show you right now. All of those photos are stored in the attic and I do not have time to go up there and dig through them, but let me just say that it did not look good. Lukanoy Skokanov, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your names wrong, says, what was your most and least favorite hairstyle and color? Least favorite is natural, so like a stupid little mousy brown. I don't do well with that at all, and I haven't had it in years either, other than when my head is shaved, and I don't actually care because it's like a millimeter of hair. And favorite color is black or red. Least favorite style, obviously, again, when my hair is long, I don't like that. And favorite style is a full mohawk or a Chelsea cut. Jack Nicholson says, what are some of your favorite bands and subgenres? What would be your dream show? I've talked about music a lot in previous videos, so I'll just quickly mention that as a punk, I listen to mostly punk. Surprise, surprise. And right now I'm very, very into Swedish punk. So I'm listening to a lot of bands here in Sweden. My favorite band of all time is Swedish punk band Mimikry. You can check them out on YouTube if you want to hear their songs, but they sing in Swedish. Other genres, I can listen to pretty much anything. I just don't like R&B. I don't like gangsta rap. I don't like hip hop. I don't like country music. I'm not a big fan of reggae either. So if it's like punk or rock or ska or metal or synth, like stuff like that, I like. I can even endure some pop music if I have to. My dream show, I'm pretty sure that that's what I just went to when I went on that punk cruise with my friends, because I got to see Mimikry play along with some of my other favorite Swedish punk bands. So that was freaking fantastic. Michaela Murray says, would you ever go back to using dreads in your hair again? I don't want to say I would never do it, because you never know, I might change my mind in the future, but right now I have no desire whatsoever for dreads. They freaking ruined my scalp, they're itchy and warm, and I don't like having long hair, so. Desiree the Deviant says, favorite movie currently, also do you and your mister want kids someday? My favorite movie is always The Fifth Element. That's just always my favorite movie. But like from recent movies, yeah, I really like Deadpool 2. It was freaking amazing. Nope, I don't want to have kids. My husband doesn't want to have kids, and we never have wanted to have kids. Friterad Kladdkaka says, can you share your punk playlist or recommend some good bands for this baby punk? I'm gonna be lazy here and ask you guys to turn to the video for the cruise that I went to, because all of those bands, except for one of them that I don't really like because it's like old man kind of bullshit punk, all of the other bands are all great. So if you want to check out Swedish punk, go to that video. At the very end of the video, all the bands are listed, and my favorite bands are at the top of that list. Owl Queen says, any tips on making a relationship last? Well, everyone's an individual and we all have different ways of communicating, but communication is always key. It sounds like such a cliche to say that communication is key, but it is. Me and my husband are always honest with each other, even about stuff that might not be that easy to talk about, like the more difficult stuff, serious stuff. We never fight, we don't, we occasionally disagree, obviously, but we talk about stuff. And then it's done. So communication, talk to each other. If you feel something, you have to tell the other person because they can't read your mind. Just talk, be honest and open about everything. Helcolina Plasticine says, since it's Pride Month, do you have to, and if yes, how do you deal with people invalidating your sexuality because you're, to my knowledge, in a female-male relationship? We celebrate Pride here in Sweden in August, actually, but I know that in the US it's Pride Month right now, so yay, go Pride! And I don't have to validate my sexuality to anybody, and you guys know that I'm a bisexual, but yes, I am married to a straight man. That doesn't stop me from being bisexual. I'm still sexually attracted to females as well. That doesn't just go away because I chose a partner who's a man. If a person's that ignorant, they're not worthy of my time anyway, and I have to say that I'm blessed enough to very, very, very rarely have to explain myself. My friends know me and my husband. They know how we work, what our deal is, and everything like that. And nobody questions it. You know why? Because it's none of their fucking business. Fu the Selkoth? I don't want that. I can't read this. Have you made a video about your tattoos? And if you haven't, then will you? Come on, if you follow me on YouTube, you know that I make a video every single time I get something done. If it's a piercing or a tattoo, there's a video for every single piece of art on my body. There's also an old video that I plan on updating at some point where I show every single tattoo I had up until that point. Friends Make Garbage says, do you have any tips on dealing with negative views in public for being alternative? Grow thick skin is the first thing I have to say. In the end, other people's opinions about you do not matter at all. And I know it's easy to say that. Not everybody is as confident as me and can just brush off comments. Some people can't help but listen to them, but I'm telling you, stop listening to negative shit right now, because the only person you have to satisfy is yourself. And if you like what you're doing, keep doing it. I'm still like, what? Did that actually happen? Every single time something like that happens in real life, because it's so uncommon for me. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes someone's like, she thinks it's Halloween, yelling it after me. And I'm like, every day's Halloween, fuck you. Most of the time, I just ignore people like that. I'm gonna look the way I look because that's what I like. Why would I look the way anyone else think I should? And also, I did make a full video that's called Commenting on Other People's Appearance. That's here on YouTube. I made it a couple of years ago when I still had the dreads. If you want to see like a longer rant about that. Brooke Black is My Soul says, will you ever come to London for a meet and greet? Love your videos and you always inspire me to go that extra mile with my makeup. Thank you. Thank you, Brooke. Actually, I am planning on possibly going to London this fall, but it's only for a couple of days and it's with a bunch of friends. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time to do a meet and greet. I'm sorry. And I'm not even sure that I'm going yet. Like, we have to check that everybody has the finances for it first. It would be a lot of fun though. So if we do go to London and we feel like there's some spare time on one of the days, I might just sit down at a pub and just be like, hey, I'm here in London, come see me, and do it like that. But I can't plan for it because I have to prioritize my friends for this trip because it's only a couple of days. Jaze Key Captured says, do you plan on having any more piercings or planned stretchings? Nothing planned right now. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted. Lots of tattoo plans though, lots. But I don't have the money for tattoos, like at all right now. So we'll see when it happens. Izzy Mai says, what's the best thing about summer? The best thing about summer is that you can go swimming. Cookie Kaiju in real life says, drugs is something that's often within the punk community. Personally, I'm straight edge. What's your stance? I don't do drugs. I've never tried drugs. I have no interest in trying drugs. I'm not even a little bit curious. I do drink alcohol, and that's kind of a drug, but it's a legal drug, so it doesn't count. Bella Crows says, what's your favorite food drink at the moment? At the moment, my favorite food is a vegetarian Caesar salad, so there's no chicken and there's no bacon, but you get halloumi cheese instead. They serve it at a local restaurant here, and it is so freaking delicious. I've had it like 5 times already this summer, and I just love it so much. And favorite drink at the moment? It's still Prosecco, like dry, sparkling wine. especially Prosecco. I prefer it to Cava and Champagne. I really love it. It's just so good. Miss Shell 489 says, were or are you a fan of the TV show The Young Ones? If so, could you do a cosplay of a female Rick or Vivian? What? I have never heard of The Young Ones. And I don't want to cosplay something I don't know of. Harlot Queen says, have any bands recently caught your ear? Yes, a bunch of Swedish Riot Girls bands have caught my ear. Well, pretty recently. Not like yesterday, but like earlier this year. I went to a super fun Riot Girl live band night with my friend, and we saw Lava Banks, Alvaret, True Moon, and Knash. And these are all Swedish Riot Girls sort of bands, and they're all fantastic. And I hadn't heard of them before they released this band night event kind of thing, and I listened to all of them beforehand. I just fell in love with all of them and had so much fun at the gig. Anita Jackson says, puppies or kittens? Are you kidding? I have a dog. Obviously puppies. I do love all animals though. Susie Q says, what's a fetish club? Is it really that difficult to guess what a fetish club is if you haven't been to one? There are different kinds of fetish clubs. Obviously, the thing that they have in common is that fetish is the red thread. You'll have people wearing latex. You'll have people wearing like army costume kind of thingies. There'll be super strict dress codes. You'll have playrooms. Look it up. Try it out, see if it's for you. Not Alex Thanks says, any marriage advice or advice for planning an alternative wedding? I just got engaged 2 months ago, congratulations, and will be married next year. Already have my black dress, but I don't actually know any punk brides except you. Marriage advice, again, back to the relationship thing, communication. Friggin' talk to each other. Don't be quiet and angry at each other. Talk, 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 talk. And advice for planning an alternative wedding, find a venue that looks a little bit like the style that you want already, so you don't have to change the entire thing to get it the way you want it to, because that's both expensive and time consuming. So find something that works with your aesthetic, and then you can add like decorations and stuff to that. Also, have a budget and follow it. And if you want to, you don't even have to pay for everything yourself. It's okay to have a plate fee so that the guests actually pay for like the cost of the food or whatever it may be, so you don't have to cover everything yourself. You can get married and have a great wedding on a budget, I promise. Also, have a priority list of the stuff that's really important and the stuff that you're willing to skip. Perry Kickley says, summer's here, one of your favorites, heading to the beach again? Well, yes, as soon as my freaking nipple piercings heal, I'm gonna be swimming like a little fishy fish. I can't wait. Hazy Moon says, which language do you speak the most, English or Swedish? Because you don't have a Swedish accent. I'd say it's 50-50. Like in everyday life with friends and with work and stuff, I speak Swedish. I also have friends living in Sweden who don't speak Swedish, so there's a lot of English there too. Obviously, I speak English with you guys and on social media in general. And my husband is an English teacher, so we do throw a lot of English into our dialogue as well. So it's probably 50-50. Blonde CX says, you still missing your cheek piercings? Nope, I haven't missed them since I took them out, which I did make a whole video on. I was only sad when I took them out because it felt like a defeat, but afterwards I was so happy and relieved, and I've been happy and relieved ever since. And I still have my dimples. F Oxpaws says, what's your favorite hairstyle or color that you've ever had? Again, it's black mohawk or black and red, like half and half Chelsea cut. Zarenia says, what's your next hairstyle, or do you have more piercings or other tattoo plans? I'm still growing the hawk out. It's pretty short still. As you can tell, I have about 3.5 months of outgrowth right now. So I'm going to keep growing it out, keep it black for at least the entire summer. That's my plan. And then after that, we'll see. I might want to bring back my Chelsea after that. We'll see. I don't know. And no current piercing plans, like I said, but yes, lots of tattoo plans. Nothing that I'm willing to share in advance, though. And I've already answered the plan on having children. Absolutely not. Olive and Apple says, what is a hidden talent that you have? You are such an inspiration. I've always had an alternative aesthetic, but never the courage to show it. Seeing you makes me want to step out of my bubble. Do it. Fucking do it. Just do it. Don't even think about it. Just do it. Live your life. Don't hold back. And a hidden talent? I'm pretty like in your face about the stuff that I think I'm good at. I'm really good at opening beer cans with my teeth. Maybe that's a talent. I can also burp really fucking loud. Cats in Treehouses says, have you ever been fired from a job? Have you ever quit? If so, why and how? I haven't been fired, like selected just for being me and told to fuck off, but I had an entire department being cut off, which means that I was let go along with a bunch of other people, but that didn't have anything to do with me individually. It still fucking sucked though, but yeah. And I've quit a job, yes. I quit to start studying back in the day. Xbread Little Bear World says, what's the longest you've ever had your hair, and do you have pictures? Again, I mentioned this in the beginning of this video, like down to here, and I have pictures in my attic, but not to show you right now. I'm sorry. Mish Mortis says, I've always wondered what is or isn't punk. People say be yourself, but then when you do, they say not that way. So my question is, can you be punk if you're conservative or pro-capitalist or want to be rich or buy from mainstream clothes and not just going to a thrift store? Sorry if this was long, but punk has been very important to my life, and especially the music, since it speaks to me the most. I made a whole video called What Being a Punk and a Riot Girl Means to Me. So if you want to hear my full opinion on what I think about that, go check that video out. But in short, punk starts with the music. It does, and it is an attitude. But you can look a lot of different ways. There are no rules. Nobody decides if you're punk or not. If you think that you have the right to decide that someone else isn't punk, even though they identify as that, you fucking suck. Why do you care? Just do your thing and let people do theirs. And the last question is from Orphea333. What has been your most recent music obsession favorites? Oh, I've already touched on this. So yeah, Swedish punk bands and Swedish riot girl music. Just, oh, so good. Those were all the questions, you guys. Thank you so much for asking. And again, I do recommend that you go have a look at my Q&A playlist if you want to know more or see longer answers to questions that I've already answered previously. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself. I'll see you next time. Bye!